Let's see. Let's do something a bit more abstract now. So I like using felt tip brushes or pens. The way they handle different pressures is really nice, really reassuring, especially because I've spent many years just drawing with pencil and applying value with pencils. So yeah. Just a random mouth here. A little random hand here. Put another hand here. Hands are really difficult to draw, which is really weird when you think about it because, most of us have hands. So you think we know what they look like. But it would seem that they give us the most trouble somehow, despite this. Something else I notice, a lot of times we tend to model everything after ourselves because, we are often more comfortable with ourselves than we are with using models. Sometimes it's just we do that because it's what we know. Like, I don't really look at a lot of other people's hands, for example, so I just draw them how my hands sometimes look. And I've seen a few tutorials on how to draw hands and stuff. And, I feel the way that I draw hands is fairly unique to my own way, like a way that marks my own identity, artistic identity. So sometimes they're very comic booky, and sometimes they're fairly realistic. More likely, they turn out more like this hand than anything. So for breakfast slash lunch slash brunch, I'm having a mini pizza from Red Baron. Red Baron's a pretty good cheap pizza, frozen pizza brand, I think. So, but even though the instructions say to cook it for like 3 minutes in the microwave, I think that was a bit too long. I think next time I'll dial it down a little bit, because you know you can never uncook anything. You can only cook things more. So next time I'll start off with like maybe 2 minutes 15 seconds and see where we go from there. So yeah, it's a little mini cheese pizza. Oh, I'm making this drawing so creepy. Well, that's because it's what I feel most comfortable drawing. I spend a lot of time drawing fairly creepy things. Never really, I wouldn't consider anything that I've ever drawn scary, but I know that's fairly subjective. Everyone has their own personal definition of what's scary to them, based off of their own experiences. Like, for example, I find deep bodies of water fairly scary. But other people likely won't. I find demons not scary, but a lot of people do. And, of course, Kaing finds the random lips, mouth fairly creepy. And, you know, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I guess it's just the nature of what mouths do. Is, you know, we use them as natural weapons. You know, we bite things to tear things apart and masticate them and ingest them. You know, and thereby absorbing what it is that we were consuming, making them a part of us. We absorb their essence, and we become one. There's something very symbolic about that. So basically, my little cheese pizza is way too hot, and I'm waiting for the cheese to become opaque again. So I have to say one of my favorite artists is Rebecca Sugar. And if you're not familiar with her or her works, she was an artist for Pendleton Ward Studios before she branched off and did her own thing. So, Pendleton Ward is cartoonist, very creative. Well, to be fair, I don't know any cartoonists that aren't creative. Who is responsible for, you know, Flapjack, Adventure Time, and I think technically Bee and Puppy Cat come out of that. There's some other cartoons that they've done, but those are definitely the most prominent. And I think, so Rebecca Sugar, her claim to fame is Steven Universe, and I follow her on Tumblr. She's pretty fantastic. I really like what she brings to the world of animation. And the gems, the crystal gems, they are a race of people that are completely androgynous, and some of them literally don't have, well, they are asexual. Most of them, anyway, I think. Some of them are definitely female, and a lot of them, you know, you just can't tell. Some of them are probably definitely male. Anyway, point is, like, I really like her art style. That art style, in general, it's very, yeah, it's cartoony and stuff, but it's, because it's so practiced, you know, it's developed its own style. You know, when you see anything from those cartoons, you'll know, hey, this person came out of Pendleton Ward Studios. I know it. I've seen it. Let's see if it's too hot yet, or if it's still too hot. Oh no. Not bad. Definitely overcooked, but not bad. It's nice, cool water to help wash it down. So, I'm still working on being able to draw clouds that look nice. Knowing and understanding, like, why they shape themselves into the shapes that they make will go a long way to helping that. Like, for example, I have no issues drawing trees. I understand how trees work. So, but clouds, that's a different area of science altogether. Because then you're dealing with atmospheric pressure and molecular bonds and all that. Very technical stuff. Versus trees, they usually grow basically towards the quickest path to sunlight.